A very good happy Monday morning to everyone out there. Hope you all had a fantastic weekend. Landon Hampton here with you to bring you your latest weather forecast, courtesy of On Target. Folks, we have an extraordinarily active pattern that is in store for us. It's all going to get started as we work throughout this evening and throughout the overnight. Got the opportunity of a little bit of snow late tonight into Tuesday morning, but folks, it's going to be followed by copious amounts of rainfall, resulting in likely flooding concerns here across the region. Getting a look at the latest surface map, we have a cold front that's on its way down to the south and east out of the northern plains, stretching over to the Midwest region. Working in tandem with that is we have this low down here across the Gulf that's going to be churning in some moisture here out of this same direction and streaming it upward towards our vicinity. You can blatantly see the southwesterly flow that we have here with the little track of the cloud cover working in out of the south and west. We're going to have some passing high-level clouds as we work throughout the day, folks, but it looks like sunshine should be dominating for the most part as we work throughout the day before we get into the potential for some winter weather shenanigans throughout the overnight. Skycam overlooking Lovers Lane Soccer Complex kicking things off for us. We got a beautiful view there of the moon, folks, but you can see some of the outlines of the mid and upper level cloud cover that we currently have present out there. Same can be said overlooking the Beach Street News Skycam up in Morgantown. More of the same over in that direction. It's a chilly start for us. We're hanging out right around either side of the freezing mark. We'll be bumping highs this afternoon anywhere between the low and mid 40s for the most part. We will be working throughout the entirety of the day with winds out of the north around 5 to 10 miles an hour. Those are already present out there and has actually brought wind chills down into the low and mid 20s for some of us early on this Monday. So let's jump right into it. Let's go over and let's take a look at the latest model guidance and what's going to be unfolding. And folks, the initial round here, we're going to have to watch like a hawk. We're going to have splitting the difference right across the state of the Commonwealth of Kentucky in regards to temperature profiles. And this is going to make this forecast quite the doozy. So let's watch as we work throughout the day. Nothing to worry about, but keep your eyes down here across the deep south. We're gonna have this open wave that's gonna bring this moisture wave up here out of the north, and that cold front, remember, approaching from the north and west. As this does so, as we work throughout this evening, we're gonna have precipitation that'll be infiltrating the area right around the midnight time frame. And then as we progress throughout the pre-dawn hours of our Tuesday morning, as you can see here, we got the opportunity of some impactful snowfall impacting a portion of the region. Those of you located in Butler and Edmonton County will have a higher concern of seeing winter weather impacts very early tomorrow morning in comparison to the rest of the region. Where we're going to have the zone that's going to set up, again, folks, is going to be bisecting right across the heart of not just Kentucky, we're pretty much right across the heart of the Wobbles community that we hyper-localize here at the Weather or Not operation. And it should be a load of fun, to say the least. We'll be burning the midnight oil yet again, it would appear. So let's take you through step by step, looking here at the short-range model guidance to give you what this is showcasing. Here we are working throughout today, folks. Despite the cold temperatures and the light north wind, it should be quite nice. Partly to mostly sunny out there, nothing to worry about. Cloud cover will go on the increase this evening, and then here comes the rain chances arriving right around the midnight time frame. Folks, this is where we're going to be watching for the opportunity at a little bit of a mixed bag of wintry precipitation, if you will, right here at onset. Right around the midnight to 2 a.m. time frame. But keep your eyes, folks, as we work throughout the pre-dawn hours of our Tuesday, and then we get into the day on Tuesday. So even by sunrise, right around 4 to 5 to 6 a.m., and continuing through mid-morning, you'll note, folks, look at this barrier. It is basically bisecting right across the upper half of both Edmonton and Butler County, and that is where the highest concern is going to be, to get some snowfall on the ground to cover up some roadways if this was to come to fruition. Those of us across the southern tier, folks, we're going to have this warm air that's going to be infiltrating here out of the south and west, and folks, we're going to be receiving little to nothing across the vast majority of the region, but then, folks, as you get across the northern tier, That's where things are going to be very tricky, and folks up in that direction will need to keep their eyes on the possibility of some Tuesday morning commute issues as a result of the wintry weather. All right. So you can still see here by 8 or 9 a.m., it's got this swath of, looks like somewhat moderate to even heavy snow across the northern third of Butler County over into Edmonson County. That's what we'll need to watch closely, folks. And this continues all the way through roughly mid-morning and lunchtime before finally the warmer air catches up here, and we'll have a transition across the northern third of Butler and Edmonton County that we're watching there over to Plain Jane rain along with the west of Wobbles country. All right, and then the rain continues all the way through our Tuesday afternoon, all the way into Tuesday evening, and finally tries to loosen its grip at least a little bit on Wednesday. But folks, we'll get more on this here in just a minute. We're gonna have more weather makers right on the heels of this one as well. Okay, this is what's going to make this forecast so tricky, our good old-fashioned temperature profiles. Here we are working throughout today, folks. This afternoon, we're going to be right around the low to mid 40s for highs during the peak heating of this afternoon. So again, folks, it's going to be chilly out there despite the sunshine. And then watch. By the time of the arrival of the wintry weather, the short-term model guidance is still holding us anywhere between the 33 to 34 degree marker here. Yes, that is a degree above freezing, suggesting that at onset we might not see too much out of this. But as we continue throughout the morning, folks, look, this is what's going to make this so tricky. We can have the opportunity of moderate snowfall falling across the northern tier of the region, but temperatures are going to be in the 33 to 36 degree range, making it difficult for anything to stick. But what we have to watch in these scenarios is that the rate of the precipitation falling can override warmer ground temperatures. So if we get a spell of moderate to heavy snow across the northern tier of the region, despite temperatures at 34 and 35 degrees, we could get some snow-covered roadways and some impacts to travel. We continue throughout our morning hours. We rise very quickly up to around the 40 degree mark by lunchtime, rising up to around the low to mid 40s, folks. And as previously mentioned, the entire region should be clear of winter weather concerns somewhere around the 8 to 10 a.m. time frame on Tuesday. In particular, we are monitoring Butler and Edmonton County for the highest impacts out of this, in particular, the northern half of both of those counties as well. All right. Now let's jump back over here at what's going to unfold in regards to not just the winter weather possibility overnight and throughout our Tuesday and Wednesday morning, but the opportunity of some flooding concerns. The entire Wobbles region is currently underneath a flood watch. We have not been issued any weather headlines, but you'll take a look just to our north. Grayson and Ohio County is both already included in a winter storm watch. That's why the northern tier of Butler and Edmonton County is what we're honing in on for this particular weather maker. But we're going to be looking at flooding concerns coming in here over the next 48 hours with saturated grounds out there, an additional of 1 to 3 inches of total rainfall before this is all said and done. All right. And then the transition over to wintry weather, you can see we've got very minor impacts labeled here across the northern tier of the region. Again, folks, reiterating that region that we are watching very closely. Now let's fast forward, folks, because we got plenty more to talk about throughout the remainder of this week and rolling on into the weekend. After we get this weather maker out of here, look at this next area of low pressure that rises up out of the Gulf right here on its heels. So despite a very brief lull in activity as we work throughout the pre-dawn hours of our Wednesday morning, continuing into Wednesday afternoon, folks, we get weather makers right back in here Wednesday afternoon into Wednesday night. More widespread rainfall. It could be moderate to heavy at times. And then that's going to clear out of here, folks, and we're going to get a lull in activity, albeit a brief lull, Thursday into Friday to finish out the work week, all right? We should steadily see more sunshine come back into the mix in the Thursday to Friday time frame. And then here we are, getting into sunrise on Saturday. This is a weather maker that we're going to need to watch closely. We could have some strong thunderstorms coming along with this. We are going to be firmly located, folks. Here's the low. Warm front will be well north of the region, cold front to the south and west. This is what's known as the warm sector of the system. Deep southwesterly flow coming in, widespread showers, strong thunderstorms throughout our Saturday morning, throughout our Saturday afternoon, all the way into our Saturday night, with the potential for a brief changeover to a light snow event as we work throughout our Sunday, and then colder temperatures settle in here for the start of the new work week as well. So needless to say, folks, we got loads of weather makers that's going to be impacting the region that will continue to raise our flooding concerns across our community. Over the next 7 days, folks, 4 to 6 plus inches of total rainfall across the region. Rivers will be swelling out there along with the streams and the creeks. Please be aware of that. This is our number one concern, in tandem with the opportunity at a little bit of wintry weather during the Tuesday morning time frame. Flooding is our number one concern and priority that we want to communicate out of this. Water-covered roadways, avoid those. Turn around, don't drown. Stay weather aware with the repeated weather makers that are expected to impact the region here over the course of the next several days, okay? Jumping back over here real quick in the short term, I want to showcase the opportunity of receiving at least 1 inch of snowfall with the system during our Tuesday morning time frame. As you can see there, folks, the northern half of Butler and Edmonson County has been painted with a 10 to 30% probability of seeing that come to fruition. Again, confidence is low in us getting anything out of this, but if we do, it could bring some travel impacts for those portions of the region very early on Tuesday morning and for the Tuesday morning commute. Here's your full breakdown of your next 6-day weather forecast, courtesy of Ohio Valley Insurance. Partly to mostly sunny today, mid-40s for highs. Opportunity at a wintry mix overnight into the very early morning hours of our Tuesday, but very quickly changing over to an all moderate to heavy rain event. Highs Tuesday right around the 40-degree mark. Continued rain chances Tuesday night. Next weather maker follows Wednesday into Wednesday night. Lull in activity Thursday into Friday. It's going to be much colder on Thursday. And then Saturday, chances for showers and strong storms with highs catapulting to near the 60-degree mark during the peak heating of our Saturday afternoon. Friends, it's going to wrap up your Monday morning weather and night forecast, courtesy of On Target. You all take care of yourselves and each other. Have a blessed start to the new work week.